Greetings. Welcome to the Kingdom Cultural Center. Glad to be with you once again today. I'm telling you, this society in which we live in is something else. Sometimes I want to share with you, but you can go online and find out and look at television. My responsibility is to give you the kingdom. And that is what I'm going to do. I'm always obedient to that. So many things come across my desk, my vision, but I just have to shake my head. I want to share something with you, just in talk. When you're in the kingdom, when you get to the point that I am in now, I think my wife is at that point as well. That when you look at the world and see what's going on, and what's around you, for me, it's like looking at cable. I'm in it. I'm in the world, but I'm not of the world. And if you remember, on many occasions, I always say, the kingdom. You have a kingdom concept. It won't faze you. You see what's going on, but you don't sweat it. I'm at that point now. I'm at that point in my life that those of you, when you come into the midst of the kingdom and the kingdom mindset, the Spirit of God living in you, in power, keeping you. Things you see on the outside, you see it. It doesn't shock you. I pray, and that's what keeps me praying, for the people to come to the knowledge of the King. I want to read to you now something here. Every one of you, turn to the 13th chapter of the Constitution, the book of Matthew. And let's read the third verse of the 13th chapter. And I want you to understand the importance of the kingdom and how the evil one, the devil, wants to keep you from embracing that. Then he spoke many things to them in parables. Behold, a sower went out to sow. And as he sowed, some seeds fell by the wayside, and the birds came and devoured them. Some fell on stony grounds, stony places, where they did not have much earth, and they immediately sprang up because they had no depth of earth. But when the sun was up, they were scorched. And because they had no root, they withered away. And some fell on thorns, and the thorns sprang up and choked them. But others fell on good ground and yielded a crop, some on 100-fold, some 60-fold, some 30. He who has an ear, let him hear. Let him hear. Now I want you to understand something. Jesus always gave parables to those outside of his circle. And this is because if you're hungry enough, you'll grab it. If you're not, you'll lose it. I remember he said something once. He says, cast not pearls before swine. That's something to think about. All the good stuff. It's a lot of times you start telling somebody who don't want to hear it about the word, and you start talking to them and you don't have a grip on it yourself, the first thing they're going to do is reflect on you. What's your life like? See, personally, me, they can do what they want, because only thing the devil can do is mess with your past. If you have the Spirit of God and you're obeying Him, He can't touch your presence. I listen to so many things on television and on cable. I don't do I'll do very little television, but I watch the internet and I read and I get certain information. And the people that are being attacked, they always dig in your past. They always. People who get attacked, if they can't find nothing else wrong with you present, they're going to go back into history, into your past, to try to besmirch you or discredit you, regardless. But I'm telling you, when you embrace the kingdom concept, the devil gets upset, and he himself takes a personal interest. I want to read something to you. I just read you the example. Here's the answer to what we read. Jesus gave the answer. The disciples came and said to him, "Why do you speak to them in parables?" And he answered and said to them, "Because it has been given to you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven." Follow me. But to them it has not been given. For whoever has, to him more will be given, and he will have abundance. But whoever does not have, even what he has will be taken away from him. Let you have the kingdom mindset is one that instills in you that you have no fear outcome of this world system. You totally trust. I do. See, in an age, let me try to put it in, back then, there wasn't no social media. It wasn't no telephones, word of mouth. If you wanted to get a message to someone, took basically 2 days, 3 days if it's local, sometime a month if they wanted to get to another province, another area of that country. But in today's society, you have to work it differently. And that's where wisdom comes in at. That's where wisdom comes in. Where you have to learn how. That's where being led of the Spirit becomes important. Because if you try to do it on your own effort, with that religious mindset, it's not going to work. You have to learn. Once you're born again, you have to learn how to live this life. And you're only going to learn it through studying His Word, studying the principles, and it's have to be ongoing. It's very important. I'm talking about changing your mind. I'm talking about kingdom mindset, a kingdom concept. You see, there's so many things, there's so much information that's going all out. And, a lot of times you may wake up in the morning singing or thinking about something that you never thought of for years, and it pops up in your head. These are principalities of the air. Once you embrace the kingdom, you study, you're constant, you get hungry, you develop an appetite. It's one thing to be hungry. It's another thing to develop an appetite. Now let me go on. Listen what he says. Therefore I speak them in parables. He's given the answer. Therefore I speak to them in parables, because seeing they do not see, and hearing they do not hear, nor do they understand. And in them the prophecy of Isaiah is fulfilled, which says, check this out. Hearing you will hear and shall not understand, and seeing you will see and not perceive. For the heart of this people have grown dull. Now I want you to understand something. Listen to this. You should thank the Lord for the children of Israel, for Abraham, because it's because of them that we became drafted in. We, the Gentiles, anyone that wasn't a Jewish descent or who wasn't a Jew, just simple as that, he was a Gentile, was he Italian, Greek, whatever. You know, these were drafted in. Now, how were they drafted in? Through faith. Through faith. The kingdom of heaven is based upon that. I'm going to have to cut this short for a minute, but I want you to understand something. Your faith plays a vital part in the kingdom. I'm not talking about the church you attend, Christianity, Baptist, or whatever you may be. Remember, the kingdom of God is government. Nothing to do with religion. It's government. That's why you'll never see me or anyone that knows the kingdom. They won't get in an argument with a religious individual and talk about the people who we may know. And I'm going to have to cut this short until next time. But people that we may know, many of the people we know are religious people. And they're really seeking the kingdom. And when you start talking about Jesus, they get a little confused. But look, listen, I'm going on a little further in the next session. Until then, remember what I said. Your greatest asset is your faith in the Word of God. Until next time.